Okay, besties, first things first. Hello, how are you? Welcome to a new place, a new corner of a new house. Um, there's a lot to catch up on, but first and foremost, I wanted to make sure I wished you guys a happy Lunar New Year. Look, I'm prepared a little bit. I realize it is past Valentine's Day, but you are supposed to wear red or pink or some colors on Lunar New Year, so I'm doing what I can. So, how do I even film anymore? I don't know, and I want to kick it off very simple. I want to get back into it, and I thought this was the best way to do it, which is going over my reading goals for the year on Lunar New Year. I don't think I'm behind, okay? Because I was beating myself up because I did nothing in January because I was moving, and everyone else had released like beautiful breakdowns of their reading goals, and I was not a part of that group. But I think there was a reason, okay? If you, like me, weren't ready then, and you're ready now, let's work on our reading goals together. So I have 5 goals to share with you today. And I also have one little like nugget of surprise of a direction I think I want to go with the channel and a way for us all to connect more. I will have more information on it like next week in a blink of an eye, but I'd love to hear your early feedback on the idea, and if you have any ideas to help me kind of iron this out, I would love it. But without further ado, here are my goals for the year 2026. It is time to get into my few goals. I honestly did not want to do more than 5. I truly think we need to enjoy our hobbies a little bit more. At least that's how I feel. I need to enjoy life a little more and have it be less of a chore. And so most of my goals are either set up in a way that I can achieve them, even if they are going to be a little challenging, or they're purely fun. So if you need some goals like that, if you need to throw those in the mix, I am here to give you some ideas and share my own. But at the root of it, I am trying to achieve the achievable, okay? And not set my sights so high that I give up right about now after a month and a half into the year. So, here we go. I've already introduced this, I've already said too much, but keeping it simple, my first goal is to read 50 books. That is stepping down from my typical goal. I think 2 years ago, I set my highest reading goal, and that was 80. I did not reach that. I believe I read like 77. And I decided, okay, I'm aiming a little bit like outside of what is really doable for me. Last year, I decided to set no goal, and I think I read 66 books. So I've decided that this number doesn't matter a ton to me, but I think 50 books allows me to be like, okay, I will read and read at my leisure and my enjoyment, but I'm not trying to read more than a book a week. And I think that's a healthier mindset for me. And I feel like there are weeks where I'll probably read a little more, read 2 or 3, and then other weeks where I'll read none. And I don't want to feel guilt or feel like I'm on a schedule that I need to hit, because why am I setting this arbitrary reading schedule? I need to care more about the quality of the books I'm reading and what I really want to be reading, instead of like how many books can I get through. I just don't think that's impressive. I think there is a pressure to set a number to that, to read enough that your opinion is valuable, and I truly don't think that's real. I think it was clickbait for a while to be like, I read 200 books this year, here's what you should read. I'm not trying to start an argument about like, did those people read those books? Did they retain things from those books? Honestly, that's here nor there for me. I think it's more just I got it in my head that to create book content, I had to read a ton of books. And I don't feel like that is where my value is. My value isn't in the number of books I can read. I really want to focus more on the content I'm creating around my books, on my timely reviews and thoughtful reviews. And that's just my personal goal. So we've narrowed that down. Shrunk that down to 50. My next goal is going to have another video attached, but that goal is to read a number of series that I am in the middle of. Why do I just say a number? Because you guys, we need to go through all the series I am in the middle of, and I need to get an idea of what is practical for me to get through. I thought about doing a percentage here, but I truly don't think that makes a ton of sense. Here's my thought process. If I'm trying to get through a percentage of my TBR, I think that is achievable to determine a percent. But when it comes to series, I could have one book left in a series. I could have 3 books. I could have 5 books. And I feel like that's too variable for me to say I'm going to finish this percentage of the series I'm in the middle of, because that's not me saying a number of books. It's me, there could be an endless number of quantity there. If you're tracking with me, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay. So I am going to go through this series I'm in the middle of, determine if I'm going to continue those series, and then decide the number of series I believe I could get through this year. I really feel like I'm ready to weed things out and really niche down to the series I'm actually interested in, I actually have copies of, and I need to get to or be done. And that's just how I'm feeling about it. So, video to come diving into that process. My next goal is similar to mine from last year. It was to read a percentage of my physical TBR. I still feel like my TBR is growing at a rate that is not healthy, and I think it needs to be pared down. But I do believe I need to do a little bit of a video here as well, figuring out that number of the physical books that are on my shelf. I'm terrified, I'm scared, but I do think it'll help me align better to actually work on some stuff, you guys, actually get around to some books. So at this point, I'm thinking 25%, but again, this isn't something I have gone through yet, and I still want to be keeping myself sane and enjoying reading. So I'm not going to say specifically which books I have to get to, but I like the idea of going through the books, getting a number, and coming back around. Last year, I believe we were in like the 130s or even higher for number of books I own and had not read. And I just need to keep paring that down. But I also don't want to be too hard on myself, because I love books. I buy a lot of books. It's okay to set them free without reading them, but it's also okay to have some sitting and aging on my shelf like some fine wine. So it's a little bit of balance. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But that is my third goal. My fourth goal is really about my book buying. Okay, this kind of goes in tandem with that physical TBR, continuing to grow, and me not keeping up with my pace of reading. I don't know many humans could keep up with the rate of books I'm buying with their pace of reading. You know what I mean? So mostly this is about being more mindful about buying books, especially if I'm not sure if I'm going to actually want to own that book. So more mindful, right? Trying to only keep books that I'm giving a 3.75 or above. I think my only exception there is going to be if it's part of a series that I overall rate the series higher. Because sometimes there's a book in there that's not a 3.75, but it's part of the building blocks for a story I love. Then I do believe I'd probably keep the books. But yeah, I'm trying to not have too many exceptions to the rule. Like if it did not get a 3.75, it wasn't for me, and it needs to find a new home. Along with that book buying plan, I really want to be spending under $100 this year on books. I know that's a very low place to set that goal, but luckily I live in a community that has huge sales in their book sections. There aren't a ton of books coming out that I feel like I need to buy day of and buy new. And in this, I have the exception that if I am reselling books on Pango or another way, and then I use that money to buy books, that does not count to the $100. Okay, this is money that's coming out of the account and going to books. Let me girl math this. Let me just have my girl math here and say If I had sold books to buy that book, that does not count. This is just like pure, straight from the bank account to the books, under $100. That might be a little strict, but I truly feel like I have so many good books around me to read, and I need to be reading them. That's that. I do feel like a lot of these like go hand in hand together. So hopefully all my goals support each other so I can achieve. My last goal, goal 5, is my most fun goal, and this is what I want to be consuming reading wise every quarter. So, again, trying to read a little bit less sometimes makes these hard to achieve every month, but I think every 3 months I should be more than able to achieve these 3 types of books. My first is a nonfiction. I'm not a huge nonfiction reader. I want to become a little bit more comfortable with it, and I do think you can gain a lot from nonfiction reading. So every quarter, I want to read one nonfiction book. I'd like to read one classic. I think that gives me plenty of time, if it's a denser classic, to really put the effort into understanding it, reading it, and hopefully giving me some new perspective. And the last type of book I want to read every month is a reread. I feel like I'm not a huge rereader. It kind of scares me. It's not my number one thing. But sometimes you need to reconnect with books you really loved to bring about like what you love about reading, what you're looking for in a book, just to like realign yourself. And so I am planning to reread one book every quarter this year. Guys, I'm already on track to doing some of this, so I'm excited, and I can't wait to keep you updated every quarter on how my goals are progressing. So, to the most fun part of the video. We've done it, you guys. We've made it here, and I'm so excited for that fact. Not me messing with my mic endlessly. Can you tell this feels like my first time again? So, don't mind the legal pad. We are bringing back book club. And we are bringing it back in such a new and different way. And you guys, I am so excited for this, and I really hope you guys end up loving this idea too. I am going to do bi-monthly, so every 2 months, a new journey, a new reading journey for us, a new quest, if you will, of a specific type of book, niching down super far to a very specific type of story. I know that's a little open-ended, and I can give some ideas that I'm thinking of to kind of put you on the same page as me, but we are just going to all together read books that are within that category and then have a place to discuss them, talk about them, consume media that kind of goes with those books. And I think this is going to be so much fun. I think, one, it's going to open all of our eyes to like maybe a new niche we love, but also books within that like someone might read one and be like, hey, this book, dog water. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pick that one up. And then someone's going to be like, this book was amazing. Like, even after our quest, like, you should pick this up. Amazing news. And I love this idea, you guys. So, I think I have chosen our first one that will go through March and April. So again, every 2 months we'll choose a new one. And I think, again, this allows you to choose books off your shelf that you already own. And maybe someone will want to buddy read with you on the channel. Like, they are also like, hey, I'm also picking up that book. And you guys can do a little mini buddy read, then still come and discuss it with all of us. So again, I'm going to set up the platform for this. That is where we got some kinks in the cogs, okay? Because I don't know if that's a saying. That is where we have our holdup for me, is trying to find a space where we can really do this. There are a lot of reading apps that I don't think allow for this type of platform, like this type of connection. So I'm really considering starting a Discord. I think that might be the perfect medium for us. I definitely want to create some content that aligns exactly with what we're doing that month so that you can get ideas, be inspired, and we can really be immersed. So, anyways, oh my gosh, you guys, like my brain is going a mile a minute because I'm so excited about this. If you guys have any platform ideas of where this discussion would be best, I'm open. I'm open to it. I'm open to that knowledge that I know you guys have. I know Instagram kind of has those mini groups. Yeah, I'm just trying to find that right spot for us to discuss. So, all that to say, I have officially chosen March and April's category, and our category is going to be medieval times. Uh, uh, uh. Medieval stories, really. I just wanted to say medieval times. Next 2 months, we are going to look at our shelves, look at our TBR, and find books that take place in the medieval era. And we will get to read them together. There are so many books out right now that really are in line with this type of genre. And I feel like everyone has been reading them, loving them, and I really have not dabbled. I have them on my shelf. I can't wait, but I just haven't been reading them. So I thought this was a great opportunity, and I hope to provide some immersive like nuggets throughout these next 2 months for us to all really like get after it and enjoy. So that is the plan for these next 2 months. And if you guys have ideas for other months, you kind of get the idea of what I'm thinking of. I've been considering mermaids and pirates as one, girl detective. Like, I have so many ideas. I don't want to just give them all away at once. If you're excited, if you can't wait, if you already have books in mind, please start chatting about it below. There's nothing I love more than a good comment. Truly. So please, before you click out, oh my gosh, we're not quite done yet, but before you leave, make sure you're leaving a comment, make sure you're liking, and if you are enjoying and want to join this space, this new reinvigorated space, I'm telling you guys, it's happening now. It's happening today. Please subscribe and come back. So, those are my reading goals for this year. I went low-key, and I am very proud of myself for that because I'm actually more of the type who loves to set crazy high goals and then hate myself for never achieving them. That's just my style. That's just how I communicate to myself. And I don't want to do that, especially with a hobby that I love so much. I hold so close to my heart, and I want to be able to share this space with you guys and make it a community, really like community driven and motivated. And that is what has inspired me to be here and to talk about books. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have watched me for, I think it's been 3 years now, you guys, I've had this channel for 3 years. Thank you if you've been here from the beginning. If this is your first video, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you stick around. But without further ado, it is time for me to give you a little smooch goodbye. I'll see you guys in the next one.